Well, hello, and hi. My name is Jonathan Garano, and welcome back to another episode called The Bottle Club. The podcast is called The Bottle Club. How you doing? Hopefully you're doing well. As you can see or hear right now, I'm alone on this desk at this moment, and the reason being is because I want to tell you kind of some cool little updates. I've been getting some DMs from some of y'all, and I just want to make sure that I'm pinpointing everything. First off, at the end of this podcast episode, I put together some bonus content. So if you go to the last 7 to 10 minutes of this podcast episode, you're going to see some bonus video and audio content. And basically, this content is the story about how this guest on this podcast and I first met and that whole interaction. What do I mean by that? Well, basically, the guest on this podcast episode, her name is Hannah Sulak, and we met 3 years ago on a blind date. Basically, there's this company called Jubilee Media, great, wonderful YouTube channel, and they put us together in this room for about an hour to 2 hours where we started drinking tea, and as we were drinking tea, we were asking each other questions from that New York Times article, The 36 Questions of Love, trying to figure out at that moment if there was a connection, if there was a spark. And fortunately, no spark, but a friendship spark per se, right? And since 2018, we've had interactions with each other, maybe 3 or 4 interactions with each other, hung out a couple of times as well. And right when the Bottle Club podcast was, making a little bit of attraction, I thought to myself, who would I want to be the first guest of this episode? Who would I love just to have a cool little conversation with? And boom, right away, my mind was like, it's got to be Hannah. It's got to be Hannah. We just have fantastic conversation, chemistry. I adore her as just a human being. I find that she's a great storyteller, which is that's what the Bottle Club is all about, telling stories, and just having a conversation through those stories. And so today, that's right, we have a guest, and her name is Hannah Sulak. And the reason why I'm giving you the last 10 minutes of this podcast, that bonus information, is because you guys are the crewmates. You're the crew. You are the crew, and I want to make sure that if I'm bringing on a guest just like this, that you get the full picture. You understand who she is, her backstory, and how she relates to my life. And if she comes on again, guess what? It's recorded, it's here, it's settled, bing, bada, boom, we're there. So you are the crew. I love you with an LUV. You're dope as hell. I appreciate you so much. So with that said, here is the episode. By the way, congratulations on booking that. Is that I saw your Instagram lately.
Oh yeah.
Because I wanted to
do some research.
I wanted to see what Hannah was up to.
That's sweet. Thank
and
you.
So I was like, oh my God, what is she up to? Oh, she's doing this commercial. I totally forgot the name, but
okay.
You're very charismatic in there. So yes, I'm proud of you.
Making cookies, you know.
Yeah.
It's very on brand.
Always on brand with you, always baking.
Thanks.
Wait, do you always bake? Are you a baker?
When I have time. When I have time. I do like to experiment. I really rarely ever measure things or remember what I've made, but I make them, and normally they turn out good. I taste test them on people, my friends.
And they're like, you know what, Hannah? Delicious.
They're like, all right, you're vegan and gluten-free. Let's just see how good this is.
Wait, you're vegan now?
Yeah.
Were you always vegan?
I've been vegan for 6 years. It's okay.
No, it's fine. This is really great.
I asked you to give me kombucha. I mean, come on.
Is that? Well, I do kombucha all the time too.
You love this? This is good.
I love it.
Trilogy?
Because I feel like it's really good for my face. Because I don't know if you know this, Hannah. I'm really 45 years old. And look, and no. Oh, by the way, hey, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hello, crew. Welcome. My name is Jonathan Garano, and this is
Hannah Sulak.
Yes, Sulak. It's not Sulak. Okay.
It is Sulak.
And welcome to the Bottle Club, where we talk about things. Today's a special little episode.
Cheers.
So what I want to do, y'all, is we have these Tuesday podcasts where people come together, and it's just we go a little ham. But what I want to do is I want to bring on like special guests sometimes. And Hannah, by the way, I'm not going to lie to you. When I was thinking about making this podcast, I definitely wanted to co-host. And the first person in my top 3, you were like number 1.
That's super kind of you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, because I was like, I having a woman perspective and also someone as, I would like to say, just an active listener as yourself, and also provide, wow, now there's pressure. They're like, oh, this person better step it up. Oh my God.
Listen.
But, so thank you for being here today. I appreciate you.
You're very welcome. Thanks for having me.
I'll just give like a quick rundown. How do we begin our friendship?
Our friendship started on Jubilee Media, and it was a sweet little episode called Tea for Two, which, not to pick favorites, was my favorite one that I've ever done.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
We are that was the best. So basically, guys, what happened was Hannah arrived, and we did 36 questions from the New York Times article. 36 questions of love, right?
Yeah, it's basically like, oh, can you ask each other these questions, and can you fall in love with each other? Or my perspective of it was, can I form a love or like a deeper connection with someone?
Have you done the 36 questions of love with anybody since then? Yes,
yeah.
Right?
It's the best. Honestly, like not even just significant others. It's like friends. Like it's the best thing to do on a long drive. Anyone you want to go deeper than just surface level with, it's perfect.
My favorite question to always ask if it's like a starter is like, when's the last time that you cried?
Yeah, because emotions they need to be expressed.
Oh, it's like one of those parties that you go to, Hannah, where what happens is, have you ever been to a party where it's like no small talk parties?
No small talk parties.
So
no,
you go in.
Sign me up.
It's the best. So you arrive. There's like food, and then there's these cards, and whatever the rule is, you cannot ask service level questions like, "Hey, how are you?"
The best.
It's more like, "What's that one thing last week?" How about this? What's one thing last week? No.
Yeah, ask each other.
Here's what's
Please do.
What's one thing last year, Hannah, that you were like, you know what? I fucking did it.
I fucking did it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, last year was a heck of a year. So.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard.
I mean, what exactly happened? Not that much,
my
you
gosh,
know. Like, hey.
Yeah, I just lived 50 years in one. It's fine. I feel like a grandma now. But I love this. There's actually a this card deck that it's called We're Not Strangers.
Yeah.
You know, of course you know.
Yeah.
I love playing games like that with people. Or Jenga, you can write like really intentional questions on Jenga and like play. It's like great. We're just basically telling people how to have a great time with their friends.
Dude, that's the way to do it.
It's absolutely.
Stare at your friend for like 4 minutes in the eyes. But yeah, what's that one thing last year that you were like, you know what, Hannah, I did it?
I think the overarching answer that could go into more depth would be that I refined like relationship. I think that it was.
I like this.
Yeah, like I found a good core group of people that really care about me, that I didn't feel obligated to be around, that were like in close proximity, but like also just I knew how to genuinely care for me. And I think I also helped the people in my close proximity to also do the same, and to like
What does that look like?
What does that look like? So like if someone was in a romantic relationship, I love helping people through relationships. Literally, I was single for so long because I was just so busy with just helping people with their relationships. But I was living with someone who like needed to really let someone go, and I helped walk them through that just based off of like day-to-day reflection, day-to-day intentional going into depth, day-to-day like going into like self-evaluation, which is exhausting, and it was exhausting. But I think that
he or she was going through a breakup.
Just, you know, like the kind of relationships that you have where like you shouldn't be in the relationship, but you just you have like a love for that person.
Yes.
And it's like it like you can totally not be right for them, or like but they still are like good for you in some way, and like but not in the way that you want. So
I totally understand. I was with someone for 6 years.
Wow.
And when I asked her like, when we broke up, I was like, hey, do you love me? And then she looked at me and she said, I love you, but not the way that I used to love you. I just didn't want to hurt you. And so, or
maybe even in the way that you needed, or like,
right.
Yeah. And what even is love, right? Like love is something you literally choose every day.
I don't,
in my mind.
Can you choose? What do you mean choose love?
So like if obviously when you choose love, it has all the things that are attached to it. Like you're choosing that person, but you're choosing everything that involves that person. And so like, that's what I think it's so important, because people do change over time. Like people will always change no matter how long you are with them. So choosing to love them is like, I'm accepting you today. And I'm not saying I'm choosing you tomorrow.
Right.
But I'm saying I'm choosing you today, and to like live in that presence of love. Like love is something you can promise someone for like a lifetime. But
that's so beautiful.
It is beautiful.
Because you're not looking at the future you are still looking at the future.
Yes.
But you're like, hey, I understand there might or might not be a future, but right now in this moment,
yes,
I am so fortunate that you're in my life.
Correct.
I am so fortunate that we're being present in this moment.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of thinking, well, you're out of my league, so I have to like be better for the future, it's like, hey, you are with me right now.
This version of me with all that holds.
Yeah.
Yeah. And to not like have that expectation of like, but also not the fear. So it's like people like, I need to know that you're going to love me always. It's like, all right, like it needs to be enough that we love each other right here, right now. Tomorrow we're going to check in again. Do you love me? Great. Let's keep on going. Like it's that daily check-in. If you really love someone, like you're going to give them that daily check-in of like, I love you. Do you love me still? I love you. I love you. Yeah. That's
no, I love, okay, LUV to, when I say I love that, it's an LUV because I'm saving the LOVE for someone special. But it's kind of, it's like there's this reoccurring theme that's going on in my life that I'm seeing with like everyone that I'm meeting, is that more so than ever, it's all about how do we stay present in whatever we're doing. So you could take this version of relationships with the love and thinking about, of course, the future, but let's say you're doing a test or you're doing a project. Our expectations of the result is always on our mind, but if we're just like appreciative of what we're doing in that moment, we're going to not be happier, but at least have
peace. Like clarity and peace. It's like when I'm in a test, I hate tests, by the way. But when I'm in a test, see, even if I walked into that test being like, I hate tests, it's always going to make me feel more anxious about that test. But if I walk in, I'm like, all right, like, Han, you know I'm good at, like, not the best at tests, but I'm going to go into this test. Yeah, just let me just, and I go into that test and I'm like, all right, I'm not going to ace this test, but I love how I am who I am in this test.
Right. How fortunate and lucky at this moment that I'm even able to take this.
Correct. Sure.
Right.
Yes, even that. Like gratitude, list of gratitude. Oh, the best thing in life.
And the one thing though that I'm thinking about or I've been like struggling with is I think a lot of the times like in that moment, let's say you take the test, right?
Sure.
Or let's say you're in that relationship and it didn't go well, right? A lot of the times it's like, oh, these are the things that I did right. But I think what we have to do is it's like a balance. Like these are the things in this moment that I did right. And this is also what the universe did to me that was right. So now it's like a 50-50. Now you're not playing a victim, which is really good. And then on top of that, you're being grateful.
Correct.
And then you can go, okay, what can I do more of like next time?
Yes. And you're not like, what can I get out of this? It's like, or like, what did I get out of this? It's like, how is this affecting me right now? In this moment, how has it changed me? And that's beautiful.
Yeah, this is something that I've been thinking about. This is why I would love you as a coach, because I have all these thoughts and you are just able to either bring it out of my head in the clarity way, or you're able to say it in a very like clear, articulate way. Which I definitely want to get into something. I definitely want to get into something in a second, but after I don't want to go back into the whole like how we met. I mean, that's great. T for Two showed up.
If you want to see it, go see it.
There's going to be a link behind it. It's so beautiful. Good. People are always like, "Oh my God, you guys are the best," and I'm like, yeah, "Stop it!
Cusco.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen that. I haven't seen it in like 2 years, so I don't even know.
I got rid of those earrings after you called me.
Wait, you did? I am so
not because of that.
Not sorry, but like that's.
I take it as a compliment,
dude. Lala, you remind me of
Emperor's New Groove.
Emperor's New Groove. You're that llama from Emperor's New Groove.
You did this motion. I was like, I had short hair. It's good, but we don't have to talk about it anymore.
Anyways. No, we don't. I mean, hey, listen. At that moment, which I'm really happy about, is that we were very honest with each other, and that's what I took away with it. Like. At that moment, I was present. I said, there's no way that I see you as someone that could be...
Absolutely not.
No, please, God. In a positive way, though. Hey, friendship, you know.
We're still here.
Yeah. I just thought like, oh, this is a really cool person, and if I were to hang out with this person, it would be as a friend. And then luckily, because of that honesty, as you know, but everyone knows already that listens to this podcast, you can listen to another episode. You know, I was in that 1 versus 10 video.
Yes, you were.
Sat down, had 10 girls lined up, and I had to like eliminate them one by one.
Wait, you were in one too?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, wait, I thought you texted me and you were like, I cannot believe you're...
I'm so sorry. It's all flooding back.
But yeah, that was fun. Yeah, I learned a lot about myself there.
Good.
I think at that time I was just asexual, not into anybody, but I was like, okay, cool. But then you were in one.
I was.
What was this video called?
This one was called 10 versus 1. I was the one. And I was speed dating 10 guys based off of their childhood photos.
Oh, shit.
Which was, oh, gosh. Okay, I had mixed feelings about it. When I heard about it, I was like, oh, great. Love it. Because, you know, I've worked in childcare since I was like 13. I was like, this is a cute concept. My mind went to cute. And then I was like, this is kind of weird, because I'm like, I have no way to know what you look like in the present. So I'm just like trying to like put a beard on like a baby's face, and I'm like, this guy might have facial. Okay. And I was like, does he have facial?
Does he have glasses now?
Has he glowed up? Did he glow down? But it wasn't more so about the appearance. I think I was like, this concept is so crazy that I just have to focus really, really hard on their character. And
wait, their character through a photo?
No, they were talking to me.
Oh, they were talking to you at the same time that you see their baby photo.
Correct. So I had like, you know, like...
How old were these kids? Like 3, 2?
There's a couple rounds. So they didn't... Obviously, we know this about Jubilee videos. They shred it down. So like, you obviously are spending like far longer doing this.
RT for 2 is 3 hours. They made it 10 minutes.
Was it really 3 hours?
No, 2 hours and like 15 minutes.
Yeah, we went through like so many questions.
Oh my God, it was exhausting. But anyway, go on. Sorry.
It's okay. So I basically had this iPad and all these folders of different ages. So like, as I was eliminating the men, I was then going on to the next folder and looking at the new age of them. So I got older and older, which made it easier and easier to know like maybe like what they might look like now. But
so it started off like exactly.
Yep.
So what was the last age? Like 13?
The last age was middle school, but they didn't show the middle school round, which I was really sad about, because one guy had a mullet and it was golden.
Oh my God, that would
so
be
good.
That would be so fun to pick. Who did you end up picking?
I ended up picking this guy, Chris.
Wait, I have a question. Do you think you can find someone attractive through their, like, can you look at a kid and be like, that kid is going to be attractive, and that kid is going to try to rule the world?
So good question, because this is something I think I wanted to clarify on the video, but I didn't, was that I was not looking at these kids, like the photos, and being like, oh, these kids are cute. Like, I'm attracted to these children.
Oh, God, that's right.
I hate that. I'm like, no. Like,
what are you? What are you, Maxwell?
Oh, gosh, no. And that was like a huge thing for me, because I was like, no. But like, I have a very, like, obviously very vivid imagination. I have an ability to be able to like maybe like imagine what they might look like. So I was like, okay, this person is this ethnic appearance, like this person likes the outdoors, and I was like mapping together. I was like, maybe.
But if a baby is just in like outdoors, doesn't mean the person that's talking to you likes outdoors.
Like if they'd mentioned that they liked outdoors.
Oh, that's right.
So
it's a mutual conversation.
No.
So you're like, I see your baby picture looks like this. Are you still doing this to this day?
Correct. So I'm like, okay. One guy I was like, oh, like you're outdoors. Like, do you like the outdoors? He's like, yeah, I like hiking, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, okay, this person is Middle Eastern. And I was like, okay, this person's Middle Eastern and they're a lawyer. And I was like, okay, so I can kind of imagine like what they might look like, how they might dress. And then there's this other person who is Asian and he likes hiking, so I'm like, okay, maybe I can kind of piece together what his body type might look like. So I was I could form attraction based off of that.
This guy might have a nice little back, but he's okay, this makes sense. And then from there, then how did you end up picking Chris?
Honestly, it was very, very hard. I just kind of
Flipped a coin?
I just kind of flipped a coin.
Wait, okay, I have a question. So
here's another thing.
okay.
I was super tired by the end. I was
It's exhausting.
So my brain was frazzled. I was like, I don't even know if I'm saying this guy's name right.
Like
I missed one guy's name.
Like, you don't even know if it's the right person, too, that you picked.
Correct. I missed this guy, Devon. I messed up his name to the last. Like, he was in the last.
What'd you call him, like Devin?
Yes.
Okay.
I was so
Wait, so when I did the 1 versus 10 and I eliminated the women,
yes.
they put them right all in front of me, so they would all be staring at me at the end,
No.
like right after I eliminated them. And so at the very end, I just see like 8 girls just with their arms crossed, like shaking their heads.
Jeez.
So wait, did that happen with you, or what happened after you eliminated them?
I absolutely love that you asked this question because I literally didn't see any of them until I chose Chris.
Yeah.
We like saw each other and I was like, oh my gosh, like this is weird. Like I like hugged him and I was like, this is, like I've only seen child version of you. And then
It's like Back to the Future.
Correct.
Yeah.
I was like, I literally feel like I just saw you grow spurt. Like your whole life just flashed before my eyes.
Exactly.
And then all the guys they lined up in the they were lined up in the green room.
Yeah.
And then they came walking out to do their individual interviews post experience.
Yeah, they always do that.
Which I love that. It's great. I think that they need highlights, hands down. But I'm walking past this line of just like men that I've just only seen. I was like, Aaron, you got a beard? You have a sleeve? Like
Devin, that's you?
Devon?
Oh shit, Devon, shit. Wait, did they like wave at you as you slowly went by, or
They were like, sup, man?
Oh, you did like a little high five?
Oh shit, because they were like, they hadn't seen me. They only heard my voice.
Okay. So they're like, oh shit, you look like that?
So they were all, so we were all, it was basically just me walking past a line of them with all of us just being like, oh, yeah, like, look at you. Like, wow.
That's so much nicer than what happened
so
with me. I'm so jealous. Did any of those guys that you eliminated decide to like go after you as well in that moment?
I started we followed each other on like on Instagram or blah
Yeah.
and like connections and things. A few of them like reached out to go on dates with me after. But they all had a group chat together, so they were all like the brothers. Like
they had a group chat together.
Correct. I wonder if your girls had a group chat.
I don't know. All I know is that I had 8 angry girls just looking at me the entire time, and then I walk out and
Oh man.
But
we love
but no, yours is cool. I mean,
they were all amazing humans. Absolutely.
First off, I love Jubilee, so thank you for existing. That's number 1.
Amen.
You've brought so many people together.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, you said something earlier which I think is important. You were talking about like being in the present moment, and also you were talking about like what actually matters. And as an artist, and I'm an artist, and I've been thinking about this question for a long, like, what makes someone an artist? That's number 1, and what makes someone a successful artist? Now, this is the big debate, and we might clash, which is okay with this.
Sure.
But
it's a huge debate.
So I've gotten yelled at before, but it's fine. No, it's siblings though. It's love, you know.
Oh yes. You're stuck with them, so.
I believe that an artist's main goal, right, is to take these complicated thoughts that they have in their head. It could be from the sky, whatever that inspirational, complicated thought that's inside your head.
Yes.
And as an artist, what I would do is I take all those complicated thoughts and I crunch it up and I produce something out of it, either through podcasting, drawing, acting, singing, whatever it may be, to structure it with an ability to make it easily understood by others who are experiencing your art.
That's great. I love that you have the drive to make it easily understandable. That makes sense.
Right. It doesn't have to be like always easy, but
interpretive. Like people can grab it and interpret it.
And then this is where, and then maybe you can help me with this, but this is where it gets a little. And then I believe if you're unable to do that, then you are an unsuccessful artist. Because, as you know...
Is it more self-serving, you'd say? If you're making art that just speaks to you or to like an exclusive group of people?
That's good. Like if you... Oh, an exclusive group of people is an audience.
Got it. Yes.
Right?
Yes, because everyone has an intention or a motive when they're creating art more often than not.
Exactly. And if you're unable to do that and gain some sort of following, I don't care if it's 10, I don't care if it's 100, it could be 1 million, then you are not, in my eye, a true artist. Art cannot be self-serving is what I'm basically saying. It cannot just be for you.
If you want to share with the world, it shouldn't be self-serving, I think. If you want to do it to process your own thing and it's kept to yourself, I think that's beautiful. That's awesome. But don't expect it to be something that speaks to everyone else. And something I want to say too, what you said, is that you said that someone that is a good artist is someone that can, I want to elaborate on what your point was that someone who can take the criticism or take the refinement or the like trial by fire from like responses or like the lack of likes, they can take that and not let it get to them, and they can then blossom and bloom more from that. Because I think that we live in a culture that is very yes, or like very like.
What do you mean very yes?
So we're in a culture where like we have like high hopes and high expectations, self-expectation to be great. Like I think as humans we want to have greatness, we want to have purpose, we want to have calling. So it's like if when we don't receive positive response from expressing that, we can sometimes crawl into a hole and want to die and like never want to touch that again.
Oh, because you're looking at, again, like kind of like the relationship thing that you were talking about, is that we're always so focused on the results of the likes of and hitting those dopamine that we think that if we don't get those results that we're not good.
Yeah, which is why I think a good artist isn't necessarily someone who like gets the responses like that, but someone who just keeps going and keeps trying and knows that when they create art, they're creating art and they're putting goodness in the world and like they're putting themselves in the world, and they're going to keep doing it until, and it is a great thing to reflect on what your art is getting in response, because that's awareness, right? But to not like allow that to be the dictator of your art creative process.
Rick Ross has, I mean, I love that, because that's something that I have been like working on from in the past. Again, I've always thought about virality and like how many views it gets, and that's what I lived and died. I like died on by the comments. I died by the virality of things.
Sure.
And when you do that a little too much, then you lose like your authentic self, and you're unable to be genuine with your intention of the art that you're making.
Sure, yeah.
And so I hear you where like the artist might get too caught up in that, and then boom, all of a sudden, you know, they think they're lesser.
Sure.
What I love about what you said, where it's like you got to keep on going with a reflection of what you did right, or I guess what you need to improve on. It will make you like a better artist throughout the entire journey. One
of the things that I like, for the actors out there, love you, you're amazing. But when you graduate college, you're like, like I don't need to go to school anymore. Like I'm done with school. Like people always are like, I'm done with school. I'm done with acting school. I got my BFA. I'm like, nah, go take classes.
Yes, take classes.
Keep learning. And also another thing that I wanted to say was that like when you talk about your authentic self based off of reviews, I think of, for example, the last commercial I did, the one that you saw before I came here. I did it for All Truths. It's like this cute thing. So for the commercial, I was mixing with eggs, right? Yeah. I'm vegan, right? Okay. I'm mixing with eggs.
Oh, that's right. Vegans can't have eggs.
Yeah, I'm going against something that is part of my core, right? Like who I feel like I want to be in the world, the voice that I want to hold as an artist. So the work that I'm doing is bouncing back against something that I hold in my authentic self. So I got comments on that video from other people. I have no idea who they are. And they were like, haha, funny. Like you're using bowls that are like super renewable and like resources, but you're using egg.
Yes.
And I'm like, so part of me was like, I was dying because I was like, oh, like I feel like I did a freaking good job in this commercial. Like I feel like I put out like beautiful content that was authentic and genuine, and
smooth,
I was speaking truth.
Yes.
I was speaking truth. In the best, I was speaking truth in the given circumstances.
You're speaking truth through that character that you're portraying.
Or just like the circumstances that I was given. And I had to sit for a while and just like reflect off of a couple of these comments. And I was like, all right, like these people don't know me. They don't know me. Do I allow them to know me, or do I just stay silent? And how I allow them to know me is really important. So how I responded to those comments.
Yeah, how did you respond to these comments?
So I wanted to make sure that they knew that I wasn't attacking them or their negative comments, because I think that everyone has things going on in their own lives that they are feeling.
I agree.
I have no idea what that might be for them.
You don't know their past. You know
No.
where they're coming from. You
So-
don't know at that moment how they're feeling.
Exactly. So taking that into account, the only thing I know I have control over is myself and how I respond and my truth. So I
Deal.
just spoke my truth, and I was like, hi, like, I understand that you're saying that this is not lining up, right?
Right.
But I'm actually like one of the comments was like, one of my lines was blown away by these bulls. And I was like,
Okay.
what can I say? I like alliteration.
Right,
And I'm not
live
going to be able
with
to
it.
respond to every single comment.
Exactly.
Like, for example, there's probably loads of negative comments on any of the other videos we both have done about either us or about
Dude, you have no
about
idea.
Jubilee. So yes, it's important to read I don't read comments oftentimes. I look to a lot of, and how I also find guidance in that is I look to a lot of other people that are my role models in that area. So maybe other celebrities, maybe other people that are influential in the social space. And I have conversations about it with other people. If you can't talk to other people about these things that you're feeling and the hurt that you're feeling from maybe these negative comments,
Right.
to talk about it with people and not to keep it in.
It's like use your friends or use your therapist or use your
Sure.
notebook to express your feelings.
Correct.
Because when you have everything bottled up,
Yes.
it can really tear you into pieces.
Absolutely.
And my mother said something really cool where basically 3 years ago, in 2017, 4 years ago, where she said so I was breaking down. I was like, why the fuck did I go through all of this when I could have done get here sooner? And she's like, everything that you do in life creates a blueprint for anybody out there that also goes through similar things as you, and it is your job to kind of empathize with them and maybe help them guide them throughout,
Sure.
the pain or whatever they're going
And I think
through.
that it's important to recognize that while we are invited to speak into people's experiences and to empathize and associate, I think that process should happen, or that the willingness to enter into someone else's narrative and be like, hey, here's my story. Maybe it can help you, to make sure that we've gotten to a good enough place to do that. Because I think from my own story, I'm I love empathizing with people. I love hearing their stories.
Well, yeah, I feel that. Like you're...
Yes, but it's super
Boy,
There's
I
super
feel it.
far.
I feel it.
So if that was I can only do that from I can only operate in health for that person if I've gotten to a place in myself where I can then do that. And I've definitely felt in my past, which I think is
You gave too much of yourself, is what you're saying?
either that, or I've maybe even I can tell that I'm doing more damage by not being in a good enough place to share.
They don't want to be fixed at that moment.
Correct. Fix is a huge problem
Right.
right now. In general, it's no one ever wants to feel like they need to be fixed.
Right.
But there's a difference between being having empathy and listening equally and sharing equally versus hey, I'm super wise and I
Yes.
want to, because that's something
It's
I struggle.
I
oh
hear
God.
you.
Yeah.
How are you?
Hi.
Hello, guys. This is the Bottle Club. This is everything bottled up in our little heads.
I don't know if you wanted to talk about any recent
Yeah.
dating experiences. Or anything.
Well, I was gonna jump into.
What were you gonna jump into?
Well, I understand. We're talking about that, and so you're dating someone, which is amazing.
I am.
Yes, I saw the photo. I was like, dude, I love her shoes right here.
Hey.
Yeah. And then I love the guy's white shirt. I think he's wearing a white shirt.
That's right.
Hold on, closing my eyes. Boom, boom,
Oh
boom,
my-
boom, boom. Yes, he's
Photograph
wearing a
it
white
for me?
shirt. Well, I have to go into my head to see it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
cool.
I'm not photograph. Well, I'm a visual person.
Visual. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Visual, and then when I hear the audio, then boom, I'm like, oh shit. I can see the events, you know?
Did you know your brain takes a picture every 3 seconds? Fun fact today.
Hey guys.
1, 2, 3. Okay.
No.
So yeah.
After 2020, I kind of took a break from women because I think I was, well, not really actually. Can I tell you actually what I did? Well, first off, I don't care about all the blind dates. I don't want to talk about the blind dates. I did
We touched on them. We touched on them.
Yeah, I did a blind date where we handcuffed each other for 24 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
What happened when you had to go to the bathroom?
Well, okay, so here's the thing.
So sorry, I shouldn't have
No,
asked that.
it's
That's
okay.
just where my mind goes.
So basically, my
my
friends
gosh.
they partnered me up with this girl because we wanted to make a YouTube video, I guess. Put blindfolds on. I meet this girl. We handcuff each other.
Oh my gosh.
Take it off. I'm like, oh my gosh, look, beautiful girl. She's smiling at me. We're good. And then throughout the entire day,
you didn't talk. She just smiled.
Well, it was awkward. We're handcuffed to each other. And so for the entire day, we did like actions. Like we did like a dance class.
Awesome.
So I'm trying to like twist her, and she's trying to twist me, and I'm having like a difficult time.
Sure.
But it was really fun getting to know her at that moment. It's teamwork. You have a lot of teamwork in that moment.
Yeah.
So it's like right away, like
bond.
Then afterwards, we have to use the restroom.
Didn't think about that, eh?
And so I would just like look away.
No way.
Yeah. And then she would do her thing, and then I would look. Then she would look away. I hope, or whatever. I don't really care.
I'd have been like,
actually.
can you put on some loud music?
Put on some loud music. No one took a shit, so thank God. Okay.
Hey.
And then we went bowling, and that was fun because we had to use the two hands. Then we went grocery shopping. That was really fun. We cooked dinner. I got inebriated, and then in the morning, someone came with a key, unlocked us.
Oh, so you slept next to each other?
What?
You slept next to each other?
Yes, but I made sure to put a pillow. I'm a gentleman. I mean, you watch the video, nothing.
This is wild.
Nothing happens on camera.
How did you find this girl?
Ask my friends.
Amazing. I love people that are down for that kind of stuff. It's great.
But I took a break from that, and during, I don't know if you know this. Asian men don't really do well on online dating. Oh, isn't this nice?
I love it. Squishy.
I love it. It's so much fun.
Soundproofing?
We are touching these foams that are in the backdrop.
I was distracted.
Yes.
Oh wait, sorry.
It's like a piano
I really want to hear about this though.
You do? Are you sure?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, I know because you're the guest.
I know.
But so Asian men, it takes them. An Asian guy or an Indian guy especially has to make $256,000 more than their white counterpart just to have like an equal footing in online dating spaces. It's a study that's done. It happens. Whatever. And so I had to think to myself, like, how do I change the game a little bit? I love DMing people on Instagram.
Sure.
My Instagram stories. Yes.
Yeah.
You want to hear something that works? Here's my pick. Here's what I did.
Okay,
ready? Hey, let's say it's a girl. Like I swipe on Tinder and I see that she has an Instagram. I'll hit her up. I'm like, hey, so I saw your profile on Tinder and it had your Instagram, but whatever. I do have a quick question, which I think is kind of cool because I'm in the area. What vegetable gives you the most anxiety?
I was scared for that second part. I was like, what vegetable? What?
Yeah. And then
anxiety? Why?
I don't know why. Well,
that's great. It's so random. I love it.
It's a great question.
So like when you ask a question like that, like, are you wanting the girl to be like, wow, this guy's like really quirky or like really interesting? Like, are you doing that to like make them think something about you, or do you authentically want to know?
Oh, well, both. Yes. Because you got to play your strong suits. I'm like that quirky, cute dude. And so, and then she will respond with maybe the vegetable or LOL. I've never heard this before. And then once she says the vegetable, so here, what vegetable gives you the most anxiety? You got this. I believe in you.
I'm like, sorry. Why did I think of a pineapple? That's not even a vegetable.
Okay, pineapple, right? So you said
not even a vegetable though.
Well, it's fine.
Fruit.
So you do pineapple. So I go on Google.
Sure.
I find the weirdest looking pineapple.
Oh gosh.
And I send it to him like, oh, that is weird. ... By the way, I think this is a fruit. Are you okay? And then
okay?
And then I go, anyway, what more should I know about you? Boom.
That's great.
Conversation opens. Because that's like an iceberg. Iceberg?
That's great. Actually, it's very...
Is that called an iceberg?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
It's an iceberg. It's an iceberg. It's
icebreaker.
Okay. It's not an iceberg. In a way, it's an iceberg because it's like, all right, here's one trauma. Here's another. Yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
Because let's be real. Being into someone's like, hey, let's share each other's trauma. And then... But also like all the good things too. Happy, sad stuff. That's what relationships are.
But how did you meet your dude? By the way, thank you for listening to that story. I know that was all over the place, but so I appreciate you.
I'm here for it.
Thank you.
I am.
So how did you meet your dude?
Well, first I want to say, I think because this is wise. This is great. I too think that dating is very difficult. I've been dating this person all throughout, and I met him. connections.
Yeah.
Connections. But we actually first met or started talking, like getting to know each other more intimately, because I shot my shot with another guy and then posted about it on Instagram. I was like, I put this note in this guy's ceramics bowl because like I liked his art. And like put like a note in his bowl, and I was like, your art is like super architectural and like cool. And then I was like, hey guys, I just did this, like I'll keep you updated. Long story short, that guy was like, it's not a good time. And I was like, you're right, it's COVID.
Yeah, that's pretty brave of you though. Congratulations. Proud of you.
Thank you. And
Takes a lot of effort.
Yeah, so he was actually like my current my person. He was like, you know, like, good on you. Like, girls should do that more often. I was like, you know what? Girls should do that more often.
Yeah.
And then we just started talking a lot because we had a lot of time. So just like FaceTiming, voice memos, texting. And I'm not. Voice memos are.
Guys, use voice memos.
Because texting is like, one, so exhausting. And honestly, you're going to have deformations of your pinky. And then.
Do you have deformations on your
pinky? No, but I just feel like.
Okay.
I just feel like there's going to be a divot if you. Your thumb's going to get carpal tunnel.
Okay.
But anyways, if you're going to be like texting long texts anyways, it's like might as well just like give them your voice, give them your personality. It's so fun to just like
right.
Yeah, so
it's so cute.
It's so cute.
It's so
you just
cute.
go to a park and have like birds in the background. You're like, yeah.
I know, or like you're
like a waterfall, or like what?
Or you're like you want to just seem busy, so you're like bounce like a basketball, and you're like, hey, I'm going for a run, but hey, I'm thinking of you. You know?
Oh my god! Sound effects that cannot. So yeah. Voice memos does wonders. So yeah, and then we just started getting to know each other really, really deep on a nice level. And then I confessed my feelings for him.
Oh,
after,
Hannah.
I know I said it.
Wait. Why was I about to like fucking cry for a second? Not cry, but like that hurt my heart in a very positive way. Like,
oh my gosh. Well, it's just like
No, because I could tell that you're happy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah. You know,
so proud of you.
It's out there. So like, yeah. Huzzah.
Feelings. And then feelings coming back.
Correct. Yeah, that's a big one.
Well, you want
equality. I think that's a big thing.
You want to love someone who loves you back, obviously.
Correct. Yeah.
Or like whatever
Adore,
the fuck,
love,
whatever the hell it is.
Sure, wherever you are in your stage of relationship.
Yeah,
but it's just, it was honestly though, it was like a patience game because I honestly didn't. I'm super big on friendship before romance, but I think
the relationship before the relationship, as long as there's kind of slow intentions that there might be something there.
Sure, and it's like. Obviously, if you have an awareness that the other person starts to have feelings for you and you're like, they have feelings for me, I can feel it. And you're just like, friends. But it's like, okay, like maybe talk. So it's like, honestly, biggest thing in our relationship is communication, honesty, patience. And
that's key. That's key.
Yeah, honesty is huge. I never felt like I was obligated to tell him anything, but honestly, like just felt this like inside draw to be like, maybe this is something I should mention or like, it's like, really
hey,
good.
I kind of have feelings for you. Do you have feelings for me?
Yes, and it was.
What exactly did you say?
Okay, well.
I'm excited, dude. I'm excited. I
love it. I'm just talking about
my favorite movie is When Harry Met Sally, so I love romantic comedies.
Okay.
Well, I don't know if this is a romantic comedy. Maybe this is like The Notebook. Who fucking knows, Hannah? Who knows?
I think it's a mixture because.
Oh shit.
You need.
What do you
need
want?
seriousness. What do you want?
What do you want?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I feel like that was my brain being like, "What do you want? Tell him." Because I was like, I'm not saying this this is not in a vain way, but there was other people that were pursuing me at the time.
Of course, Hannah. Congratulations.
So I was like, thank you. So I was like, I gotta make a decision, because this person, you know.
I'm listening. Go ahead.
Oh.
My hair is just like always in my face.
No, fix that.
This is better.
Yeah.
Okay, go on. Go on. Your story.
It looks the same.
Fuck. God damn it. Okay. Wait, I know you're Christian.
Oh.
So, you know I'm just joking around.
I know. Okay, High five.
Okay, pound fist.
Wait, watch this.
Okay.
Give me your thumb.
Okay, what's happening?
You like this, and you spiral it, and you re-grab. Okay. You hate it? Boom. There you go.
Okay, ready?
Yep. Boom.
Okay, can we do the whole thing? Wait, so we'll do 1,
Wait,
2,
didn't you have a
3,
yeah.
boom, and then we'll do...
Because we had a handshake.
Oh,
there we go. Shit. Hey, I'm contributing.
Guys, we did the white man, black man, Batman, handshake, Asian, and then we went back and we did the circle. You have to go on YouTube if you're watching this on the audio thing, how dope that was. So how did you fucking tell him that you had feelings for him? Was this like a letter or a voice memo?
No.
We need to talk?
We had a date in my ceramic studio. And I was like, just had stuff bottled up. So I was just like working the clay and he's just watching me like, he's like, what the frick is going on? He's like, this girl has something to say. Yeah. He's like, Hannah, you need to talk? Like, what's up? And I was like, all right, yeah, sit down. So I like sat him down.
You're so dramatic. I love it.
I am so dramatic.
I love it.
It's like the sun's setting. There's like the sun's setting and like there's like golden hour in the studio. And I like sit him down on a stool and like he's in a taller stool and I'm in a lower stool. He's like, I can't sit on this stool. I have to be equal to you. I'm like, I love that. I was like, now I'm sweating even more because you're so gentlemanly.
Oh my God.
But anyways, and I was like, I think that I have been having, and I just basically described like how I was feeling, like my tugging and like how I've been so honest with him about these other people that I had been feeling like have been pursuing me. And then I was like, okay, I know this might not be the best time. So I wasn't planning on acting on this feeling. I wasn't saying like, hey, we should date now. I was just like, I just need to tell you that I adore you holistically as a human being.
Wow.
And that I have romantic feelings for you.
That is beautiful. I adore you as a human being.
I adore you as a human being and I have romantic feelings for you. I was like, just all that you're about, I am about.
All that you're about, I'm about. It. Oh, shit.
Sure. And then...
I'm going to write that little quote. That's fucking good.
That's cute. And then he said this iconic line.
What is the iconic line? Oh,
he's like, Hannah, I'm stupid into you and I have eyes for no one else. That was his response.
Oh, that is so... Wait, I am stupid for you and nobody else.
I'm stupid into you and I have eyes for no one else.
Dude.
It's just like, he just was like, I affirm what you just admitted to me and... I receive an echo.
That is cool. Is it Michael? What is it? I don't even know his name. What's his name? I just threw out.
That's my father's name, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. No, his name's Elijah.
Elijah, like the guy in the Bible.
There's a lot of
There's a lot of Elijahs in the Bible.
Have you seen the Book of Eli? It's a great movie.
No, it's with Denzel Washington, right?
Yeah, it is.
You know, Denzel Washington. When I look at him, I think to myself, he's a man that probably possesses superhuman talent abilities to really work hard and bring audiences closer together.
I love that.
Yeah.
That
but
right turn.
Great job.
Thank you.
Dude, I'm like you gotta write that somewhere.
It does sound pretty cool, I'll say it. Oh.
Don't worry.
Do you want to talk about any of the things that you wanted to?
Yeah, is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm here.
Are you good on time?
Yeah.
So about 4 years ago, I was talking to my sister. And she was talking about my other sister, how my other sister wears shorts, and she's a soccer player, and she wears like tank tops. And my sister goes, I can't believe she wears that. And I thought my sister was going to say, what as men or in this patriarchal, toxic masculinity society, the first thought I thought in my head was that my sister was going to say, what a, like what a dingbat for wearing that. But
it's like shaming kind of thing.
Right. But instead my sister said, and this is where I have to consistently check myself because I have these internal biases that I have to check myself all the time. And so she said, she wears all these shorts, she wears these tank tops. She is so brave.
Wow.
And that threw me for a loop, Hannah, for a second. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
And so...
I love that choice of word.
I know. I was like, Caitlin fucking Garano, you are my goddamn hero for checking me.
Shout out to the sister.
Oh my God. That changed my entire perspective because I was like, first, why did I think like that? And then also, Caitlin, thank you so much for making checking myself.
Right.
And so now we get into something that I think is like very big on your mind, which is the topic of men. What are they doing that's like
harassment,
right?
Or like shaming, or like. Well, I think that one of the things that needs to change in society, it's been a narrative for so long. I mean, you look into history in the present day, there's a consistent theme of the thought that men have the right to express their opinion over women's bodies, or that there's they just think that they have the right to voice these things. And more specifically, what
do you mean voice? Sorry, I don't.
Yeah, voice or act upon. I mean, can come in so many forms. And I think that it's a topic that doesn't get talked about enough in general, but also like I think it's something we need to start talking about more in our current generation. Like we are the next generation of adults. So we need to start like raising our kids this way with this mindset. We need to start like bringing awareness in public. So I think that like every single woman that I can think of or that I've talked to has at least one story of experiencing sexual harassment. And there's a spectrum of that experience, but like most women get at least one dose of like unwanted attention or harassment a day, at least.
Examples work, like
sure.
personal examples
are so helpful.
Help so much.
Yeah, I was at a record store once in Hollywood, and I was walking to find a bathroom, and it was broad daylight. So I felt safe because here's the deal. Anytime you're walking alone as a woman, sadly there's a higher risk of like being approached, being anything. It just sucks. No matter how strong you are, no matter how brave you are, it's just how the world is functioning.
Right.
So I'm just trying to find a bathroom, and this man just like starts commenting on my legs and commenting on my shoes, and he's like, "Oh, girl, you look at those legs. Like, look how you walking in those shoes." Like that kind of thing, where it's just like, this man thinks he has the right to talk to me that way, and there's nothing in his mind telling him he shouldn't. I work as a barista on the side of acting, and there are times where I can, fun times. I'll be at the cashier.
Okay.
Or I'll be like witnessing. So for example, I witnessed this happen to my coworker just the other day. She was literally minding her own business, just trying to serve this person. And they ask her like, "Hey, where do you work? Do you work out? What do you do to work out?" And she's like, "Oh, like I do like Pilates." And it's like, "You rocking it. Like your body looks like just things like that. Like at the counter of my coffee shop in Pasadena, like you wouldn't think that these things happen." Or like I was going to a thrift store once in college, and I was waiting because the store hadn't opened yet. It was a group of people waiting outside, and I was standing next to this man who was on his phone. And when the doors opened and people started to like shuffle in, he basically like pretended to be on his phone and flicked my boob, like completely just flicked my and then persisted on
I'm so sorry, by the way.
It's okay. I just like that stuff, like it happens in a split second, and I can't react to it. The woman who opened the door for us to all go in saw it happen, and she like mouthed, "Are you okay?" to me, and I shook my head no, and like, but I still went into the store because I thought that would be a safe space, because I'd rather have gone to the store than walk on the sidewalk or like walk away. So then this man comes into the store and starts following me around the store.
Oh my God. And
this worker is watching the whole thing, and I see that she's watching me, so I feel safe. I was on a mission. I had to get some like clothes to like do a set, like a scene for class, and he continues to like kind of follow me. And so this woman worker who was around my age, she grabbed one of her male older coworkers, her like boss or something, and she basically told him what had happened. I could see her talking to him.
Oh, good.
And then he came over and basically told the guy he had to leave and like approached him. And that is an example of like what work needs to start be like happening, like what kind of work needs to be done in day-to-day life. When you see something, you do something. If you don't have the power to do it, get someone that can do it safely. And also, yes, you want to say something?
No, I'm listening.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm listening to you. Remember, I'm a very visual person.
Yeah.
So
my story is like playing out in your head.
So I'm visualizing you in the store. I'm visualizing those two people connecting and talking and bringing them out.
Correct.
And then I'm also reflecting on some memories that I've seen. But when I'm looking away, please understand, like I'm a very visual person.
Sure.
And it's affecting me. So I'm like
sure.
I feel it.
I'm just checking in with you.
Oh, no, thank you so much.
Check in. Because I have a tendency to talk a little long if I am allowed to. So.
Hannah, I'll just talk over you.
Amazing.
Come on, I'm going to mansplain the myself to you. No, I'm kidding.
But, this was an older, like 30s to 40s-year-old man. There's a lot of old elderly gentlemen that tend to act out in this way. But it also can happen with men that are in their mid-20s. It's like you have to be aware of the ways that you might be perceived.
I think, so as a man, like I'm very careful of what I want to say, and I think I was looking away because yes, I was reflecting on the imagery of everything, and I was reflecting on the situation where
it's terrifying.
Right, and so now I'm like, guys, I'm closing my eyes and stuff because I'm like imagining it, so I apologize, but seeing you in that store, that guy just lingering around, brings up a lot of different issues. One, say something, do something, which is good.
Yeah.
Two, I understand that women are looking out for you, but I think men should also be like looking out for you as well.
Absolutely. Hands down, that's the change needs to happen, right?
And that is so freaking key.
Yeah.
Oh man, first off, I'm sorry that happened to you.
Thank you.
I want to break this down where, okay, it's like this. So, okay, fuck. Okay. Oh man. Okay. So I have this friend that's a girl, and she broke it down in like this. Yeah. She's like, it's okay to talk about my body and my legs or however the way that you want in a sexual way if I allow that type of interaction from you. You could say whatever you want. You could touch me however you want, as long as I give you consent.
Consent is everything, right? Absolutely. Communication, consent.
And that kind of opened my eyes because there's a lot of like guys where they always complain where it's like, oh, I can't even say hi to a girl, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, whoa, bro. Like you could still say hi to a woman. You can still go try to, get their phone number and kind of be suave enough to however the way that you want to approach someone. It's
the nature and posture,
right?
And like tone.
But you just have to be fully aware in that moment as you're saying hello. How was she responding to it?
Key.
And that's crucial from what you said about older guys or just guys in general, thinking they have agency over you, and what they're doing is they're not even listening. They're not.
There's no awareness, social awareness, like awareness of like body language, no awareness. Like that's not on their minds, and that's what's sad is like it seems to be something that's been bred into this older generation. Like, and I don't want it to bleed into future generations. So it's like I think exactly what you just mentioned of like you're having conversations with your guy friends, like you're having conversations with your girlfriends that are giving you examples of how to healthily go about pursuing and courting and hitting on and all that stuff. Because like I'm not saying like you can't hit on a girl.
You should.
You should absolutely.
You just should be.
Yes.
So like that's the thing. That's the thing. It's not difficult. It's just a balancing act.
Yeah.
It's
sure.
I have to continue to tell, but then you also have the super extreme, where you have those good guys that have absolutely like no confidence, so they're like, hey, you can't even talk to a girl. What I'm saying, I think what we're saying is, yes, go ahead and try to go after someone, but just be aware of how they're responding to you. What is their body language saying? What is the visual cues that they're saying?
You can compliment them on whatever you want to compliment on them, but I would suggest maybe not go for the body first unless it's like that's just my own personal preference. But it's like, hey, like I really like your tone of voice, or like I really admire your eyes. It's like how you say things is like
it's so key. I mean,
it's so key.
Guys,
I'm not saying you have to be a wizard or like a poet, but I'm like, come on.
My key move.
When you're doing something. My
key move is looking at something that they're wearing and then right away go for it and then see what happens after that.
And I mean, most women, like, for example, I like this top. If you said, hey, I like your top, you can be like, hey, like your top is like super beautiful on you. Like it's that like it complements your hair. Instead of being like, hey girl, like your cleavage, like, I mean, there's like blunt ways you could do it like that.
So,
but like,
so
I don't know.
I used to manage these guys called Simple Pickup.
You managed some guys called Simple Pickup.
They were a YouTube.
Please break that down.
They were a YouTube channel that helped men just become better men, as you could say.
Wow.
And one thing that we really focused on was.
What does it mean to become better men? That's what I want to know.
Well, I mean, just to be like a more confident man.
Okay.
Right? Because there's a lot of guys out there that just they see an attractive woman and they really get scared and they believe in like friend zoning too much and they just don't know how to like take ownership of their own life. Sure. And sometimes they can go extremely extreme where suddenly they become like misogynistic and chauvinistic and like they start harassing women, right? So we're trying to like find the middle. But anyway, one of the key moves, and I want to say that this is a move, I guess you could say, and the rule is this: when approaching a woman, the first thing inside your mind that you should have is, what is something that they weren't born with that you can come in and compliment?
Interesting.
Because this is something that they did. The woman decided to put on these shoes. This woman decided to wear this top. This woman decided to wear these types of earrings and dye her hair. So this is an action that she took. And so it's easier to compliment that, because now you're complimenting some sort of like personality that she's doing. Maybe she says something, oh, I like how you said that.
That's great, yeah.
Then if the conversation's going well, then you can say, well, not only are you beautiful, but you're also really cool.
That's really cool. I like that. And the only thing that I would say hesitant wise for like that mindset is like, it's super good to comment on the choices that they've made.
Exactly.
But maybe not comment on the thing that they've chosen, but comment on how they chose that. Does that make sense? Being like, hey, I really love that you chose to color your hair that way, instead of being like, hey, I really like your hair color. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. It's the specifics.
Yeah. It's the specifics, sure.
Besides, it actually makes you more... See, to me, it just makes you more attractive as a dude, because then you're being very aware.
You're being like super perceptive.
Like women love when you talk about their accessories, the rings on their finger, the watch that she's wearing, the bracelet, like how it's worn, like, because you're...
I think that they like
looking beyond her neck or her legs that she might be wearing. Not legs, the
legs that she's wearing. I chose these legs today.
Hey, are they gonna kick me right now? Can I take them off?
That's great.
Yeah, but then after you're in a relationship, then you could...
Oh, there's a whole nother bag with being in a relationship and respecting your partner. But
oh my gosh,
sure.
As I've learned from this class in Berkeley, it's like just because you're married or just because you're in a relationship doesn't mean you're also guaranteed their body.
Yes.
You know my father did in 2007. He emailed my mother and was like, "You are my wife. You're supposed to have sex with me." Yeah, what a horrible dude. Anyway, he's out there. I don't know where the fuck he is.
Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, I just wanted
information. But it's very, very, very vulnerable. But actually, like, good on you for sharing that super vulnerable thing, because like that is a huge thing. There's like so much abuse in marriage, so much domestic violence, and
I grew up in one. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I grew up in a very broken home as well.
How are your parents, by the way?
We don't have to talk about.
Oh, sorry. I know there's. Oh, hey. Yeah. There's a whiteboard. We're almost done.
I was gonna.
No, I mean, this is just tough. It's I mean, you're the consistently, as a male, what I struggle with often is checking myself, but also fighting like the stereotype of being a 5'7" like Asian dude, right? So it's like a tug of war, and I'm just really glad that I have 3 sisters, number one, that I consistently talk with. I have a lot of friends that are girls, which I think makes me more attractive, I think.
Absolutely.
And then just always checking myself.
Why does it make you more attractive?
Why does it make me more attractive? Because number one, it's like, hey, this guy has a social life, number one.
Amen. Yes, absolutely.
And number two, it's like, okay, women surround themselves with him, so it's like, okay,
they feel safe.
They feel safe.
Yeah, sure.
And number three, like, I just learned more. However, I'm not unless it's like certain things, not really gonna listen to a woman when it comes to like how to text another girl, because it's like asking a fish. It's like
well,
it's like asking a fish how to catch them. No.
Whoa.
No. It's like I would rather talk to the fisherman of how he caught like so many different fish. I'm not saying. Yeah, does that make sense?
It does make sense to me.
It's like I would like if my sister said, how do I get a guy? I'm like, don't go to me. Go to a girl that gets guys all the time.
Sure. Yeah.
Right?
I mean, it doesn't matter guy or girl, I would say.
No, I mean.
Sure.
Hannah, like, you're cool, right? Or like Vicky, you're cool. Or Jennifer, you're really cool. But at the end of the day, sorry, bro. This guy always gets women, so I'm gonna ask him, okay?
But you also have to look at the kind of women he's getting and the kind of person he is, because he's different than you, right?
Of course.
Absolutely.
I like it, but we always have to be extremely specific.
Sorry, I'm so sorry.
No. Wait, why are you apologizing?
It's because I think...
No, you're checking, you just checked me, and that's good.
I did check you.
Don't apologize. And then I'm responding with just thank you, and then we move.
Okay, move on. Thank you for that, because I do explain.
Anyway, one last thing, like on a lighter note, which was really cool. You emailed me about this, and I kind of want to talk about it, is periods. Hey. Let's go. I think that sometimes our society makes a massive deal about it, And what do you think about it? You know?
Wait. So you think our society makes a massive deal about it, or you think it doesn't have like enough awareness? Or
they believe that it's something to make fun of a woman that she has the period.
Yes.
Like a period, a period is like taboo.
Yes.
It's unspoken.
Yeah.
And if we are going to talk about it,
I don't even think that there was a name for a period until like the 70s or 80s. That wasn't too long ago. Yeah. It was, I don't know what they called it before that. Like what, like the week that shall not be named. Like, I don't even.
The week that shall not be named. Okay.
I mean, there was like a hush hush about it. It was disgusting, or it was like men like were like, it's not attractive to me, so we're not going to talk about it. Even though it's like a huge part of a female body and how it works, and it affects not only the woman in the week that it's happening, or I don't know how long people's periods, whatever, it changes per person, but it's also affecting your entire month. Like there's a cycle, like your body is continuously cycling.
Yeah.
So like it's not just the one time a month thing. So like to deny like that a woman has a period, or like that she's going to be affected by her period.
She's being affected by it every single day.
Every single day leading up to it.
It's part of her.
It's part of her. And so like, yeah, there's just like I mean, I can understand it being kind of like a weird thing to talk about, like for guys, because it's like, it's not happening to them. If they don't have sisters, it's like, when am I going to learn about this?
I mean, when I was little, I was like, hey, I went to my aunt. I call it aunt. Is it auntie? Aunt?
I love that. Auntie, auntie.
Okay. Well, I say aunt, but it sounds too close, like the word C-U-N-T. Anyway, and I was like, hey, I was like, how come you wear diapers?
That's so cute. How old were you?
13.
13. Diapers. I mean, pads are kind of like diapers. Thank God there's been new technology.
But now I know.
You do know.
It's not that.
It's definitely not that.
I don't know. I'm just really lucky that I have sisters.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I buy tampons. But anyway, so what would you want more, like, society to think about when it comes to periods?
I think. I mean, I could go I could go down a whole rabbit hole when it comes to like guys and periods, I guess. Like, but I won't go there because I think we spent a good time talking about that already, like just guys and awareness. But I think society as a whole like needs to recognize that like there is a thing called period poverty where people cannot period poverty. People like women. It's been happening to us like for the beginning of like since the beginning of time. Yeah. Like for decades and decades and decades, centuries and
millennial.
And it changes, like how we take care of ourselves in that time of the month changes based off of our social status, our finances, our culture. So to not have, it's actually one of the Jubilee videos that I did was actually, I didn't tell you about this, but they did an episode of The Secrets where like women told their secrets about their period experiences. Yeah. I wasn't featured on it. I would just like helped out with the thing. Wrote down things, but it was like a great thing that they brought awareness to because like period poverty is like one of the biggest issues.
Wait, okay. Can you explain in like a sentence what is period poverty?
Yeah, like when women can't actually afford the products that they need to like actually take care of their body. Right. Yes. Sorry, I should have just led with that. But yes, they should, every single woman should have access to period products. They should. Yeah. And they don't. And not only that, like not only do they not have access to like tampons or like pads, but like there is, like we've created so many beautiful things in the world as humans, like technology, we've just aloof things, but we can't like freaking figure out how to like take care of this part of
take care of women.
Take care of women. Yes.
That's basically let's take care of
our women.
I was talking about this with my friend yesterday.
Let's take care of women.
With this girlfriend, my friend's girlfriend. She's not my friend yet because we've only known each other for a week, so it depends. But that's how intentional I am with my friendship, Hannah.
There you go.
We're talking about the heartbeat bill in Texas, and we're just saying like, hey, listen. If a woman gets pregnant and you're taking ownership of her body by saying that you can't do this, then take care of her fully. Give her all the medical things that she needs while she's being pregnant. Maybe even give her a stipend, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I think what you're saying in this case in this realm with period poverty.
Sure.
It's like, hey, you are a person. You matter. You live in this world. You are a citizen. So therefore, give us access and resources, at least at a bare minimum.
Right, the bare minimum. That's not much.
Yeah.
And yeah, there are like people that put out like there's like shelters and things that provide probably like, but the fact that like some women might go without a meal because they have to provide for their bodies in that way, or like it's terrifying. It's even just the courtesy of talking about it. Like women, like older women should talk to younger women. Like mothers should be talking to their sons about it. Like like 13-year-old girls should be being mentored. If their mother's not going to teach them how to use a tampon, these other women should step up. Like,
I thought you were about to say like the father should teach them how to do it.
I mean, if the father needs to step into that role, like,
like
by all means, step on that role. Like,
I'm just thinking of the movie. I'm thinking of the movie Armageddon, where one of the dudes teaches Bruce Willis's daughter how to use a tampon.
That's hilarious. Wait, really?
It's kind of funny. Yeah, yeah, it's kind of funny. Yeah, but I fucking hear you.
If it's welcomed, if that advice is welcomed,
I hear you.
Let's talk about that. But
period poverty is a major issue.
Sure, it is, and yeah, and just in general, like even just like I could go into the whole in a relationship thing. When you're in a relationship and your person's like, hey, let's make out, let's be intimate, let's do the thing,
let's have sex,
let's do the thing, let's have sex, and the woman's like, I am on my period, and like you make this little comment like, oh, like I'm a little so like, because women are just be like, some people I'm speaking just in general, but like some people might be like, oh, I really want to have sex with you, but like I don't, but they can't just say that because they love the person,
right,
or
right.
like, you know, so they're gonna be like, oh, like I'm really sore right now, or like I have cramps, but they're like, but like, yeah, I'm really sore, and like they're not gonna be like, no. Maybe power to you if they're gonna be like, no, like women say no, but like I'm just saying, like even just like being aware, like in general.
I think it goes larger than that. If you don't want to have sex with your own partner, just
literally say no.
Say no.
Absolutely.
That's basically what it is, I think.
I think so too.
That was like one thing in my relationship that I was very scared of. I always asked her like, hopefully you know that I just want to make sure that I'm not begging for sex, and I never ask for sex. It just happens. That's like something that I was always checking myself with because of my sisters.
That's good awareness.
But
anyways,
but on a lighter note, have you on your period? Because
my gosh.
okay, can I tell you a quick story? You don't have to tell, but this is what I'm remembering right now. Because I want to go on a lighter note before.
Is this a lighter note? Talking about this in general, I think it's a lighter note.
We're getting on a lighter note. No, so I don't know why you thought
periods are intense.
you brought this up. So
I know
she was on her period and she wanted to have. I was like, okay. I was like, I'm so down. Let's go. And so this is not going to be a TikTok clip, by the way. This is exclusively for YouTube or the audio version, you guys. And we are like having sex, and there's like blood everywhere.
Oh my gosh! What are we doing?
Hold on.
What?
And
this is great. This is something. Here's the deal. Hold on. We can talk about this stuff.
Yeah.
But like, it also like we can talk about this because I think it needs to be brought up. Because it actually happens for sure. But
we were into it.
What we need to do is a what is it? A trigger warning.
Trigger warning.
Trigger warning. Talking about blood. There are some people that literally have fears of blood.
Right.
So this visual might be a little bit intense for you.
Listen, we were in
but
love.
It's real.
There was
raw.
intensity. I think we were like a year or 2 years into our relationship. So
also, is this person comfortable with you sharing this information? You don't know them. You don't know them.
I'm not doxing them.
Absolutely not.
So there's like
we're
in the honeymoon phase. So like so we're getting on. She's like, I'm on her period. She's like, I'm fine with it. If you're fine with it, she's like, okay. Rip everything off. We're going. There's blood. I'm like, holy shit. Good thing we have like a blanket, like not a blanket, like a towel there because we were thinking ahead.
Sure.
You know, you gotta always think ahead. Where's my sex towel? Where's whatever? So we're going at it. And then I think the reason why I'm thinking about the story is because sometimes when I'm dehydrated, right, I get a bloody nose. And so as we're going and having some, all of a sudden I start out of my nose. And so now like
this is literally like you're getting murked. Like you guys are like if someone walk in, they'd be like, who's attacking you? Like, are you guys is this a horror film? Like, my God.
So there's blood over her, there's blood over me. Oh God, that was probably one of the first times I had a period.
Man.
Oh, that was fun.
It's a thing. It is a thing.
Yeah, dude. Just do it. Besides, it makes you more attractive too. It's like when a girl goes down on you and then you guys make out afterwards. That's just attractive. You have no idea how she just wants you even more. I don't know. That's how I think anyway. But anyway, so that was a lighter note. Did you have fun in this podcast?
I had so much fun. Such diversity in this podcast. So much information.
Hannah, I just want to thank you so much. You are literally just, God damn it. I LUV you, dude.
LUV.
LUV.
Oh, LUV. I love you.
Because I'm saving the LOV. Anyway, with that said, Hannah, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. I love this woman. LUV, she's amazing.
Thank you.
Where can we find you, Hannah?
At Hannah Sulak on Instagram. Do you want to spell it?
SULAK.
Well done.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah.
And you can find me at Jonathan Garano, GAURANO. Also, don't forget, check if you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to do a thumbs up, like, subscribe, but more importantly, if you leave a 5-star review on the Apple Podcast and you leave your Instagram handle from that review, that written review, guess what happens, Hannah?
What happens, Jonathan?
I DM y'all. I DM you with a video message.
Cute.
It's
so they
really
get to
fun.
see your face?
Yeah, you gotta see my
like
face.
a personalized, a cute little video.
Yeah.
It's just so
it's
cute.
like, hey, and then you can exploit me later if you want to. Anyway, with that said, I love you all. Peace.
Bye.
And with that, here is the bonus content. Enjoy. Oh, by the way, if you're listening to this on audio, it is better seen visually. So check out the YouTube channel, The Bottle Club. All right, see you soon, guys.
I also was kind of like, why is he in the room already? Like, I thought we were going to, like, walk and meet each other.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be, like, and then we slowly come together and give a little, like, handshake together.
Like an epic moment. Like,
dun, dun, dun.
Hello.
No. She's going to be here in 15 minutes, so this is going to be great. Let's go!
Oh, nice double handshake. Go ahead, sit down.
Thank you so much.
Welcome to the studio.
We live in the studio.
Yes.
Let's say I love the mess of this board. Is your brain?
It is my brain. And I got you some water right there.
Thank you so much.
Why is my heart going like this? Calm down.
For your gum.
Still great. Thank you.
I got you.
You know.
Yes. How are you, by the way, before we begin?
I like this sock.
Oh, yeah, I did laundry yesterday.
This is your sock.
Yes. Because you know when you do the pop filters, the pop. So that way it doesn't, you know what I mean?
Because it takes out the crispiness of it.
Ooh, nice tattoo on your foot. And that foot as well.
Thank you. I see one on your arm there. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Check Czechoslovakia, Czech Republic.
There you go.
Czech
Do you know the capital of that?
Of Czech?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, I don't know either. No, I don't know. That's why I don't know. Maybe you know.
So what's your name?
Oh, my name is Jonathan. What is your name?
Jonathan. I'm Hannah. Nice to meet you.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You're a palindrome. There you go.
Hannah, Jonathan.
Yeah, and then how did you get casted for this blind date thing, T for two?
Yeah, shoot.
We're just getting started. You know,
I love that.
just jump into it.
Just
You know,
get in the water.
yeah, it's the cheetah. You're running towards the questions and the answers of
I
everything.
knew you were going to reference my shirt
Yes.
somewhere. Whatever this is true. I already made a comment about how you're wearing the same exact shirt.
Well, I
but-
wanted to make sure that the people that if they do decide to watch this, they're like, oh my God, this all makes sense. You know, I made sure.
Full circle.
I love this sweater so much that I pretty much wear it like once every 2 weeks or once a week.
It's amazing.
I know, it's so good. I love Dennis Rodman.
That's who it is.
Yes.
What should we dissect?
We start off in the bathroom individually.
Right.
It's my first time on a blind date. I've only dated 3 people in my entire life.
I remember getting there and just thinking it was super beautiful. There was like, white brick on the walls and like these beautiful open windows, and it was like overlooking a lot of LA, and there was like the freeway right there, and it just seemed like this little hidden gem. I was breathing in deeply, trying
Aloof but reflective.
Aloof but reflective.
Yeah.
What did you do to like prepare
Oh,
yourself?
I got in trouble. I was
You got in trouble. Did you try to peep on me? What did you try to do?
No. I was like waiting in the shower and I got like a little bored, and so then I started playing Spotify music like
Fun.
Sierra and Missy Elliott, and the guy comes in, he's like,
Okay.
"Can you stop?" And
Really?
I was
Is
like,
that your way of calming down, or like
yeah, my way
pumping
of
yourself
calming
up?
down. You know, I suffer through depression and manic, so the way that you balance that out is through things that increase your endorphins.
Well, hello.
Hi.
How long has this guy been waiting here for me?
I think I was waiting for like 20
I
minutes.
thought we were gonna like walk and meet each other.
Yeah, I thought that was gonna be like, and then we slowly come together and give a little like handshake together,
like
and
an epic moment. Like,
dun dun dun.
yeah, and I automatically was like, oh, he just looks really genuine and sweet.
Oh,
I also
thanks.
maybe evaluated your height just a tiny bit.
Oh,
when
I
you
know.
stood up.
I evaluated everything.
You were
already.
like, whoa, she's tall. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
You're like what, 5'8", 5'9"?
5'9".
Yeah, I'm 5'7", so
So
that's
I was like, bummer. Right away, I was like,
yeah.
he's shorter than me.
Right. So like,
So-
so I've been like in the dating game for like so long that as soon as I walked up, I'm like,
She's too tall for me.
no, I didn't think about that. I was just like, oh, I already know where her headspace is at.
What?
Like I already knew where your headspace was at,
Interesting.
and also because I thought you were half Asian, I was like, okay,
I think it's so crazy you thought I was half Asian. That's amazing.
That-
I mean, that's cool.
thank you. But as soon as that happened, I'm like, okay, I think I know where this is gonna go, but let's just have some fun. Does that make sense?
For sure.
I love that acting like enters you into different eras.
If you
Different,
play 1860s person,
Right,
you can do
yeah.
a 1920s. All of a sudden, you're an alien.
Because I feel like we were both very respectful and like very open-hearted. But no matter what, there's these like societal and like just like based off of how you were raised, like who you're attracted to, you know.
It's just like this feeling that you knew.
Sure,
Like
like-
as a like a friendship thing, it like works because there's still like chemistry there. If that makes sense, as like friends, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Cool. It's probably just water right now.
That's what I need. Oh
So
my God.
jittery. Yeah, you're all like,
I love tea. You have no idea. Tea is so good. I don't
is
drink
so
coffee. Green tea is the best.
Stretching gets more blood flowing and more like oxygen to your brain than like a cup of coffee. So
Do you stretch?
you're doing right. Yes, I love yoga.
Every morning you do your type of yoga type of thing? Can you do the splits?
Jonathan, you point out the one thing I can't do.
Oh, sorry. No, that's what I care about. Like I
That's
was like,
so funny.
I was like,
That's
do
a
you do this?
classic.
Love your earrings again.
Thank you.
It's like, what's that llama in the Disney?
Emperor's New Groove. Cusco?
I'm thinking about Emperor's New Groove for some
Thank you.
reason.
Yeah.
Yes.
What I admired about you is like you just were super blunt and honest and just like out there
Thank
during the
you.
whole experience, even post experience. So like affirming was that you were the same off camera.
And I believe that you're the same off camera as well.
Yay.
Very genuine, very relaxed, calm, and collected.
How's your relationship with your mom?
Okay, so I have 6 younger siblings.
Wow.
Unlike my father, she did not leave us.
I think my mom is probably one of the strongest women I know. My parents' relationship was a little bit rocky for a while growing up.
Divorced?
Kind of.
It's still ongoing.
Right.
So I think that was also really hard in the episode was like, I loved that I got to share about a little bit about my parents' journey, but that's also their story.
I felt, I could be wrong, just a little bit of pain there and
Oh, for
reflection.
sure.
Right?
Yeah,
Am I right?
It for sure hurts.
And
I mean,
because you're an empath, you
yeah.
that energy, I felt it come out of you for a bit. And so I just want to say thank you so much for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I think mourning over those things that hurt us in life, it's needed to move on.
If you are someone who is confidently and beautifully yourself and authentic and real and raw and vulnerable with people, I think it really opens doors, which is I think what we're doing right now.
As I say to my friends, like I'm in love with them with like an LUV. But like I'm sharing the LOVE, I'm waiting for like someone that I could deeply be intimate with. Not just like sexually, of course.
Oh my gosh, of course.
But everything.
Yeah.
So like the sweat, the blood, the tears, the soul. Like when she feels, I feel. When she hurts, I hurt. That's the type of love that I'm looking for. Or I'll hopefully I can feel with. I mean, have you ever been in love before?
I think it's a hard question. I think I have such a love for people in general. So like, I easily have a love for a lot of people.
I like that. That's good.
I like that
That's
you like
really
that.
good.
So afterwards, they bring us alone, right?
Afterwards, yes, the
right,
interviews.
into the separate thing.
Yeah.
Now they ask you like, would you go on a second date?
Oh
You
yeah,
say
this is
yes.
awkward.
I'm a mountains girl, but I might be able to make an excursion to the beach to see him.
I was like, yeah, why not? 'Cause
Yeah,
I'm
why
like
not?
super open-hearted. Yeah, I'm just like, whatever.
Yeah.
Why not?
And then of course I go no.
Yeah.
Person would be dope to hang out with her like friends and her as a friend.
And there's like some comments that are like, oh, he's just like protecting himself. I'm like, oh my God, is it? See, that's what's hard about being like an Asian American male that is, my height. Guys have like the stereotype that we have no game, that everything we do is like always like getting into sort of like the friend zone and things like that. Roll my eyes. I mean, I understand it and I get it. That's why I just wanted to be like super honest right in that moment.
No, it's
and
so
be
good.
like,
I
no.
appreciate that.
Right.
'Cause, yeah.
When did you last cry in front of another person?
If someone's like with me and we're having a very deep conversation
Right.
and they start to cry, I'll either not cry and like want to be the strong person for
Right.
them, or I'll completely just like, how about you?
I mean, I'm a crier, I guess.
Yeah?
I hate hurting people. But you have to realize whenever you go into a romantic relationship or romantic interaction with someone, you're wearing your heart on your sleeve. I've grown a lot since even that video in that sense, because I said, hey, sure, let's go on a date.
Right.
Just not as like I don't think I really thought about it being like, oh, it's a date. I just was like, oh, we're gonna hang out again. I think Hannah just being like, woohoo, I'm open-hearted to
Right.
like getting to know Jonathan more. I think saying yes to that date was like, for sure, me being like, oh, I get to hang out with Jonathan again.
Yeah, because if you don't like someone, just
You just
fucking tell them.
tell them, and because
life is
otherwise
so
if you-
short.
Yes,
Or
life is too
sometimes,
short.
or sometimes you jump into a relationship and then you're like, I just didn't want to hurt his feeling, and now I'm here for 5 years.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's I've never experienced that, but like, yeah.
I feel like I know things about you now that was really surreal. I don't really know how to put it to words, but
Ineffable, right?
I like talking to you.
Yeah,
It's nice.
thank you. I like talking to you too.
Eye contact,
Yes.
And I remember she was, what, jam
No,
out?
no. Just,
Do you know what jam out means?
yes. I play the piano, so I
Oh,
get it.
okay. You do? Wait, you gotta play for me later.
One day.
Okay, good.
Oh, Hannah, do you remember our little handshake that we did?
Oh no.
All right, ready? Okay, ready? White man, black man, Batman, and then Asian.
Oh.
Like open up, which is really cool.
Yeah. I've never done a podcast, so I've listened to it.
But hey, let's walk the fuck. It's like literally a
It's a walk away.
Yeah, unless you want to drive. Hannah, are you sure this is not Jesus? This has to be Jesus.
That's a woman.
That's a woman?
That's a woman.
Not Jesus?
Jesus wasn't white, so.
Smart.